Don't force yourself to do something that you don't like.
Educational content in Indonesia is really starting to pick up, and it's really important content. It's something that I'm passionate about. I know there are some really amazing creators. We have Kak Bisa, who's an Indonesian creator, creates phenomenal learning content.
My conclusion is passion is not enough, but you need to be ambitious as well.
And keep an eye out for your music coming.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Hey guys, kembali bersama gue Jeremy Siregar dan kita ada di Google Indonesia. Bersama kita hari ini adalah guest-guest yang sangat spesial. And guys, if you can just introduce yourself for us real quick.
Sure. So first of all, thanks for having us today.
Well, thank you, my pleasure.
Absolutely. My name is Mark Lefkowitz. I'm the head of our creator and artist development team here in APAC. My team manages our YouTube creators who hit certain thresholds, and we help manage them through a program of improving their channel and achieving whatever their goals are on our platform.
And also bersama kita hari ini ada YouTuber yang luar biasa. Boleh perkenalkan diri?
Hello guys, thank you for having us. Here we are from Eclat Story. I'm Louis Sander. I'm a guitarist on the Eclat Story.
Hi, I'm Yeshua, a singer for Eclat Story.
Hello, my name is Yeshua Gunawan. I'm basically the music and video producer for Eclat Story.
It's really exciting today because we want to talk about channel growth in YouTube. So basically we're going to be talking about the secret ingredient into creating a great YouTube content, right? I just want to get right into it. What is the secret ingredient, guys?
That's a good question. I think something I always tell creators is to be authentic. So to really tell their story and to connect with the audience. I think a lot of the great things about our platform is that the creators can connect with their community and their members, which is unlike traditional media where it's very hard to understand who your community is and how to connect with them. So I always tell people to be authentic and to create content that they're passionate about and that inspires.
Okay. So what about you, Eclat Story? Is there any secret ingredient that you guys have in your YouTube content?
People always keep talk to me about passion. But I don't think passion is everything in this kind of field. This is what I found. Passion is not enough. You need ambition to do what you're going through right now.
All right.
So my conclusion is passion is not enough, but you need to be ambitious as well.
Yep. And for me, I think one thing that we have to know and we have to keep is consistency, because sometimes the views can be up or down. Yep. It's not always, we're not always at the peak. Yep. Sometimes we hit the bottom and we need to be consistent.
Okay. I do want to add to what he said about the passion is important, but it's the ambition. I think being a creator is like being an entrepreneur.
Right.
Like it's not easy to start a business, and you have to continue to push through.
All right. Well, since we're talking about passion, can I ask you guys, what are your passions?
Can I share the story now?
Yeah.
So exactly, I'm talking about the money, but Eclat Story will be 5 years on 2020.
Right.
But in the first 4 years, we don't get anything.
But what's the reason behind that then?
It's our passion. So if you're asking, what is your passion? This is our passion. And we keep doing it because we like it, we loved it.
Sorry if I ask a question. Will you get into creating more original content? Because I think part of the challenge is if you do covers, they end up getting claimed, right? Right. So will you guys create more?
Of course. We are not a cover band.
Yeah.
We're gonna make our own songs, our own singles, and exactly 15 December we're gonna launch an EP.
Right. Was there any struggle in your journey in the last almost 5 years?
Of course, we've been labeled as a cover band.
I feel like there's differences, different kind of challenges that you face. As when you're a new YouTube channel, and one when you're like more mature. When you're like 2-3 years down the road, there's different kinds of challenges. Can you kind of like specify with us and kind of share with us what would be the kind of different challenges that they would kind of face?
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of them. When you first start out and you don't have anyone watching, that's really hard. It's like, how do you get an audience and how do you get people to start watching and following your videos? And I think there are a lot of tips that we provide to be able to help with that. I think like leveraging other folks who are in a similar situation. A lot of creators do collaborations and it helps expose their channels to each other's audiences. And I think when I look at the Indonesian creator ecosystem, it's one of the strongest creator ecosystems I've seen, honestly, in all of APAC. And then to answer the second half, when you get to be the size of Skinny Indonesian today or Chandra today, it gets really hard to continue to grow your audience. And I think that's where it comes into play. What is your passion? I think for the Skinny guys, they want to create content that's uplifting. They want to create content that raises awareness for social issues and things like that. To them, that's important. And as long as they have an outlet to do that, I think they're happy. But again, it goes back to like continue to try to find what you're motivated about. Yeah.
And I know you guys kind of like mentioned this a little bit earlier. Don't be known for like trash talking people. What are some of your advice on to incorporate positive content into the many different channels, YouTube channels in Indonesia? We have like gamers, we have music, we have foodies, we have makeup artists. Like, do you guys have any advice on how to incorporate positive content into those?
Okay, I think a lot of people will be agree when we're talking about vibes. People will be able to differentiate between positive vibes and negative vibes. When you're such a negative creator, people will start talking bad in your comment sections and everything else. But when you have positive energy within you, the community will build themselves with positive energy. I mean, if you visit our channel, you will be amazed when you see about the likes and dislike ratio. We will never hit below 98% ratio of positive likes, and the rest, maybe some of our haters. There will be haters, I believe, but that's all. That's all about the story. I mean, if you are talking about community and everything else, I mean, you cannot fake positive vibes. Please fall in love with positivity, and I mean that's the greatest energy in the world.
But I think for me, to be positive is not something that we force to. It's something that comes naturally from ourselves. If you are hard to be positive, I think you need to surround yourself with people that have a positive vibe.
Yep.
So you have to take care of your environment. Don't go around with people that full of negativity, toxic people, because it will influence you and you will become a negative person.
Like the reality is, with like 260 million people in Indonesia, right? And a lot of these people are aspiring to be content creators, is aspiring to be like YouTube, to be a big YouTube channel. The reality is that not everyone makes it, right? Not everyone gets the spotlight. Not everyone gets to be as big as other people are. How do you know when to stop, right? And look for something else, maybe, you know? And like, I guess in like in your 4 years' time when you weren't making any money or anything like that, was there any moment in your time where you felt like, okay, maybe we should stop and like, look at something else? You know, and what message would you have for other people who are stuck in their journey for content creating on YouTube?
So, if you are starting YouTube channel, no one is watching. Let's talk about Eclat Story. If today there's only 10,000 subscribers of Eclat Story, no views, we still keep doing it because we want to, because we loved it, because we passionate about it.
Can I tell?
Yeah, sure, please.
People might call us stupid, but that's our story. I mean, you don't have to understand our story for us to do what we want to. I don't need the world to understand about me and about my band. It's just me and them growing together, and me just them being honest about ourselves, spreading our own positivity, spreading our own songs. And I think that's the energy that keep us until now.
I think at this point, I kind of want to just touch a little bit on the technicalities of growing a YouTube channel. Like, how important is the title of a video to you guys? Is this like, do we need to be like Google searching like what's trending today and like try to fit all those words into your title? Is that a strategy or?
That's definitely a strategy. I think a title is important, and so is the description. A lot of this feeds into the algorithms, and it helps surface your videos. So it should be relevant, and I think, I mean, it's part of why I don't like the clickbaity stuff, because it tends not to be relevant. And over time, our systems will learn that. So important to be relevant, important to understand that it's a topic of interest. So for me, sometimes, if I was creating a video, you could go to YouTube and search for stuff and see how popular things are. And it can help you identify what types of content to create or what's interesting.
Okay. Eclat Story. I know you guys put up like a lot of music stuff on your videos, so I assume it would be the title of your music. But is there anything else that you guys put up there with where you guys put a little bit more thought into the title of the video?
Actually, about the title of the video, we never do any clickbait in our video because we cover music, and I think there's no room for clickbait in the music. Strategically. To be honest, we don't have any strategy at all. I mean, we cover trending songs, and we hope that people will appreciate what we create. our strategic will be just honesty, I think.
Another thing that we also take a look into is the thumbnail, right?
Yeah.
Like what you're looking at before you click on the video.
Very
like
important.
How important is that?
Very
Do you have
important.
any tips and advice on what kind of images you should be using?
Yeah, I was going to add to that. When you asked the question about title and description, there are a lot of things that goes into helping your content surface, and I think thumbnails are really important. It's really important to pick an image that's topical, that actually relates to your video. Sometimes there'll be a little snippet in a video that doesn't really have to do with the video, and people will put that as the thumbnail. But then when people click on it and they watch your video and it's not related to that thumbnail, they're going to leave, and they're not going to come back, and they're not going to subscribe.
Okay.
So be topical, be wholesome with your thumbnails, and a lot of this feeds into the algorithm as well.
And if you have to rank these things, right? If you have to rank from titles, thumbnails, content, like which would be first, second, or third?
I think it's really hard. Our algorithm helps identify, I mean, it can be everything from content to the title, description, the thumbnail, to where your users are coming from, the language. There's so many things that go into our algorithm that it's hard to rank those. But those three are not difficult for you to focus on when you're uploading your videos. So I would say focus on all of those.
Okay, so just all three of them are important.
Yeah.
Keep your eye on it.
Yes.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for coming today. Do you guys have any closing messages?
I will add, because we didn't talk a lot about this, but when you asked a little bit before about the types of content that people create, educational content in Indonesia is really starting to pick up, and it's really important content. It's something that I'm passionate about. I know there are some really amazing creators. We have Kak Bisa, who's an Indonesian creator, creates phenomenal learning content. Those guys are great. They love creating the content that they're creating, and I think it's positive content that is teaching people about the world around them. And I want to add that this type of uplifted content and the stuff that you guys create and the mentality that these creators have is just really, really important on our platform. So,
I think for the closing message, I just want to say that don't try to be other people. Just be yourself. Find your strength and keep doing what you have joy in it. Don't force yourself to do something that you don't like.
and keep an eye out for your music coming.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Thanks,
A
Mark.
little plug.
I'll send
Yeah.
a CD to you.
Please invite us to any Google's events, yeah?
You got it.
We're waiting for the invitation.
Especially Japan.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much, guys, and good luck
Most pleasures.
in the future, guys. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
Thank you so much.
guys.
Guys, thank you so much for tuning in into our interview with Mark and Eclat Story. Don't forget to subscribe to BeritaSatu and Jakarta Globe for more content like this. And don't forget to subscribe to Eclat Story, guys. See you next time.